Joe, YICHUN BLITZ coming into this race for the first time this season. How have you assessed his recent barrier trials?
His trial actually has been very good. I actually have been asked by Jimmy to just give him some easy time out there, and the field that he gave me was actually pretty good, so I'm quite excited about him.
He's shown some pace. What does gate 14 look like?
Quite testing, quite difficult, but even if it is difficult, we're going to deal with it the best we can.
1200 metres, he's done all his racing over 1200 metres. Is that his limitation, or he might get up a little bit further maybe?
Yeah, I actually think maybe down the road Jimmy's going to be stepping him up to 14, maybe even a mile, but for the time being, as he's quite fresh and he's been trialing very well over the 12, I think we should stick with that. And what I can say about him, he's a very nice young horse. He's picking up, his form is there, he's been running good races, finishing very close from the winners and some nice horses. So if he just brings that kind of form, even from the widest gate, he's a winning chance.
Joe, full of beauty in the Premier Bowl, terrific winner last time out down the straight. You're obviously very happy with what he did on that occasion?
Oh yeah, he's done a lot of things wrong, like he missed the start. I wouldn't say missed the start, but I would say he didn't jump as well as we expect him to. That put him in a situation where I would guess a lot of people would doubt if he could still win coming from that position, and he overcame that. So some more, as I have said some time before, he was looking for a corner. So back to 1200 meters, I think that's going to be a plus to him. Just talking a little bit more about that race over the 1000, it was quite eye-catching race. I know other horses was flashing home, nearly got there, but he crossed the line full of himself, and I think he has everything to go for some more improvement. So yeah, he's an exciting horse.
That was going to be my next question, being a John-sized trained runner, not fully screwed down for that first up effort, so more improvement to come.
Yeah, it should be, as you said. Size doesn't really push his horses hard early on the season, and if they still go there and win as he did, that means like we should be able to see some more from them as time goes by.
The international sprint only 52 days away, still a lot of water to go under the bridge yet. Have you made any commitment to one horse yet?
No, not commitment yet, but we certainly have names in mind. Obviously, the sprint race we got beat the clock and also full of beauty, and over the mile we've got YICHUN in mind, but as I said, it's nothing confirmed yet. Let's see how they go the next couple of runs, and then we go from there.
Aldo, highly proactive, a horse from New Zealand who's had 2 starts for 2 wins over there. What impression has he given you so far here?
Yeah, lovely sort, nice and strong, solid horse. He's still putting everything together, doesn't give much away at track, but his trials have been encouraging, and he's so far has really put his feet in all the right places, and I'm just hoping that he brings that to races as well, because if he does, I think he'll give a bold showing of himself, and slightly cautious with regard to the work he shows at home, but I think he's just a little bit immature, and I don't think he might pay too much regard to that. I'm just hoping that he's the kind of horse that just brings his A game on race day, and if he does do that, I'm encouraged for what might be coming.
I see he's wearing the hood here. He never wore a hood in New Zealand. What's the theory behind that?
Yeah, just obviously he just showed that he's a little bit anxious initially, but he's calmed down quite nicely. So I think it's perhaps just a precautionary measure just to make sure that he keeps his mind in the game. And everything seems in order.
Jump and run type, there looks to be a bit of speed in the race. What's the ideal scenario?
Yeah, listen, he's the kind of horse that dictates to you where he wants to be, and I think either way in a 5 furlong he's just going to find himself in a comfortable position. Whether they go too fast, he'll be a length off them. Whether they go too slow, he can lead. So it's nice to have a horse of that sort of versatility, and it just gives you a couple of options.
Galloped him on Thursday morning. You confident of a good showing?
Yeah, like I say, he doesn't give away much at home, but when he does come to trials and he comes to the pens, he seems to switch on, which is quite important, and it's perhaps a character you like in a horse, and I hope that's going to be the case this weekend.
For you, the season starting, 4 wins, 4 seconds, few third placings. You're happy with how it's gone so far? Yeah,
listen, I haven't had too many rides, but the rides that I've got have all produced fairly nicely, and it's always nice when you keep your rate up like that, and it just gives you nice confidence from the saddle, and let's hope we continue with a similar momentum.
Zach, Beauty Generation coming into the mile on Sunday. How'd you assess his first up effort?
He couldn't have done any more than what he did. He carried the grandstand. He was carrying more weight physically than he ever has going into a race. He gave 20 pounds away to most of the field, and he ran a track record, so he can't go any faster and any better.
He's got to give weight away again to his rival, some 14 odd pounds. Some were saying he might have been vulnerable to that first up. Any concerns with that second up at all?
It's always a concern because we've always got nice young horses coming through every season, and you don't know how much horses are going to improve with the benefit of the off-season, and getting in with such a light weight, if they're talented horses, they're always hard to hold out. But my bloke's an iron horse. He's worked well since. He looks really good. He's drawn a nice gate. He should get a nice run, and like I always say, the more pressure the better. The other horses can't absorb or handle that pressure, and he eats it up. So a nice genuinely run race is what we're looking for, and I'm sure he's going to go out there and give us his best again.
If there's a horse like Glorious Forever drawn wide, he might have to go forward. There's no concerns with that at all?
Well, Glorious Forever doesn't really have the natural speed for the race over a mile, so he'll take a little bit of time to get into his rhythm, and I suppose they'll probably push forward to some extent from there. But he's not a horse that likes to have too much pressure early in his races. We've seen that when they've gone out too strongly on him, he folds. So they need to work out what they're going to do.
Looking at Beauty Generation year on year, going back to last year, any similarities, anything's changed? What's your thought on all that?
No, nothing's changed. He's just the same horse that he was. Obviously, he's a little bit older, but I still believe he's got another good season left in him, and I think he showed that first up. There's no reason why he can't continue on his way.
Vincent, Golden 60 recorded his fourth win. It is only his fifth start last time out. How impressed were you with that victory?
I know he always have a good turn of foot, and just have to relax him in the race, and he approaches a good section in the last bit. So I know he'll run well, and to win like this is I'm happy with him.
What's your thoughts of the 1400 metres, because he has failed over 1400 in the past?
14, I think it's also suit him, and this season he has been a bit more relaxed than last season. So hopefully this time he'll do well.
Were you satisfied with the way he trialled at Purton the other week?
Yeah, definitely. Because we try to relax him earlier. It'll be same how he run in this race as well. Even though I draw one, and he still has to be relaxed in the race. So hopefully he'll have a good turn of foot once he relaxed.
A classic mile start in January, potentially on the radar. Deep down, do you think he's certainly capable of a race like that?
That's our goal, and try to get him up there. I think if he relaxes well this race, and we'll take some time again and step him up, and hopefully he'll handle it.
You've also had an association with Ho Ho Khan, who goes around in the same race. How's he been progressing towards his first up run?
He's doing very well. I assume he'll run very well as well. So I'm looking forward to see how he performs, and trial and work been excellent for him.